And we know we missed you last night, of course, but when you have lightning tickets, you don't pass up the opportunity to go.
That
It
is the
was a
truth.
it
It was
was
a
a
good
good
game, though.
game. It was a really good game, and plus, your boy got a certificate and an honorary puck. So
Yeah, you were treating him like a child. It was so funny.
I know it's crazy. Like it's funny because it's like a lady I work with told me, she was like, "I told you were gonna get a puck or a certificate." I told her, I was like, "I got two certificates. Now what?" So I felt extra special. I was like, "Dang,
They were
that's pretty
spoiling him
awesome."
rotten, bro. That's what they
It
were
was
doing.
wild.
They were spoiling
Uh,
him rotten.
them damn drinks though, like freaking $30,
That
freaking highway.
cost an arm and a leg for a drink, though. I know it was busting, but like, I know about that $30. That was crazy. You
I'm
was
going to
not getting me to pay.
Splitsville. Going to Splitsville next time before I go to a game.
Yeah, I go to a bar before I go there, man. I'll make a
Any
drink
day.
home before I do that.
Hello. Hello. But yeah, folks, nevertheless, though, we got a good episode for y'all tonight as well. We're gonna be talking a little bit of football, baseball, and softball only tonight as well. Plus, gonna kind of like hint at a little bit of the tailgate. Plus, as well, what was said at the Orange Blossom Classic presser today, because that went down in Miami Gardens. It
Ooh.
was. I will say, I'll say something about it from what I felt that I hadn't felt in the previous pressers leading up to the event. So I'll definitely let you know my thoughts on that as well. But nevertheless, as well, if you haven't already, go ahead and join Fang Exchange and become a member. I actually became a member this weekend. Yeah, actually became no, actually no, my bad. Yesterday.
You mean like a top one?
Not a top one. I'm a member, so I can get into I'll be able to get into the tailgate Saturday. Um,
Mm.
I spoke with Ashley about this. I told her, I was like, yeah, I just, I couldn't keep up with paying $25 on my own. So I was like, let me just go ahead and sign up and just like make a payment that way. That way I feel like I'm still giving, because I feel like I've been missing here and there. Like I've been giving, but I haven't been giving like giving. So I'm
Fair.
signed up now. It's all good. It's not killing me either in the bank account. But I digress. So yeah, definitely give the Fang Exchange. Also too, friendly reminder, the alumni tailgate is coming up. That'll be Saturday. I forget at what time, but definitely, head out there if you're going to the spring
How you
game.
doing, Troy?
What's up, Troy? How are you? Can't wait to see you at this in a week? Or no, in a couple weeks?
Isn't that
Yeah,
next week? It's literally next week.
yeah, next week on Friday. So yeah, I can't wait to see you in about a week, Troy. Looking forward to it. I need to actually text Ashley and ask her if I can bring an extra party essential.
Hmm. What do you mean by that?
I was gonna bring you and have you pop out of a cake. That's what I mean by that.
Unfortunately, no, bro. I'm getting swamped right now.
No, I was not. That's not what I meant.
No,
Folks.
I
I was
know.
gonna.
I'm just saying for them. Like, watch.
I don't know. I was talking about bringing something to drink. That's all. I'm bringing my spades partner.
That's what I was saying. What you mean by that? I already knew
Yeah.
that.
See, Ace. He's bringing his spades partner. I can't even bring my partner.
Mm.
It's okay. I'll just be sitting there drinking and judging. Well, not judging, but I'll be drinking and watching.
You'll be you know what? I'm not saying it. I know the type of man you are. You're no better than me.
He said, "Wow." All right. So, yeah. So, nevertheless, spring game coming up next Friday, 6 p.m. inside Bragg. This will be like the first night spring game that they've done. Well, I mean, it'll, the sun will be setting, so it'll still be like it's a night game.
It's 6. It's 6 o'clock. It's 6 o'clock. It'll have some daylight. It'll be like dusk more than anything.
Exactly. So yeah, my hope is to get into Tallahassee probably about like 11, 12 o'clock before having to go to that tailgate and everything, so I can get settled in and stuff. as well. So I guess the first question is, of course, what do you expect to who do you expect to have an edge in the orange and green game? I know it's a little too soon to be saying like who do you expect to have an edge, but yeah, who do you expect to
I
have an
would say
edge?
you would hope the defense does a decent showing on it. So it's gonna be kind of
Hmm.
balanced out on both sides, but I don't know what the teams are, like who's on which side. Because I don't have they done the draft yet for who's on which team?
If I don't think they have. I would expect them to
No,
do it like
that's what I
probably
figured.
like a week
The
out.
draft is happening a little closer to the game. So yeah, I'd say defense generally. It should be
Good
the
evening.
defense. Good evening, little baby. Yeah, agree. It got to be the defense, because the offense doesn't have the
Hmm.
chemistry, the timing down on the routes, the blocking schemes all timed up and everything. It's still like working out the kinks on it. So you're hoping the defense, does a job and dominates, but sometimes there's also they might not have their communication down, but you're hoping they work on that. So you would like to see
Yeah.
the defense do it, but then again, sometimes the offense might have a broken play and it's just them going out there and playing backyard ball. Sometimes that just works, basically.
Hmm. Yeah. No, I agree. I
But the
definitely
one thing I
agree.
want to see mainly is who your number ones are. That's mostly solidified right now on the offensive side. You want to see them just go and build good chemistry with your other ones while you have them. If you get them on the same team, hopefully.
Yeah, I've heard some good things about it too coming out of there, especially like defensively. Caden Brown, Syracuse transfers, one guy who's been flashing off of the edge. I'm really excited to see him in this game, as well too. Isaiah Knowles, yes, he's a talented player, heck of a talented player, but at the same time too, the biggest thing is going to be the transition to FCS Division One football. Yes, the game is a tad bit faster at the FCS level versus D2. Are there some dogs in D2 football? Yes, there are. Have quarterbacks transitioned well coming from Division Two football? Yes. Key example: Trinidad Chambliss. I could definitely see Isaiah
Mhm.
Knowles possibly having a Trinidad Chambliss type of year in the FCS. Very possible, especially with the quarterback coach that he has and the chemistry that they have working together. And I will say offensively, that's one person I expect to be way ahead of the learning curve because he knows this offense. Wish I
Oof.
could make it, but Friday at 6 p.m. doesn't work well with my work schedule. I understand. I understand.
Understand.
Yeah, it happens, and I wish this was going to be live streamed somewhere for everybody to see it, of course, like
They
they
should let
used to
somebody
do.
come in with a camera, some hotspot, like a really good hotspot, and just live stream it.
Yeah, I mean, usually they live streamed it a couple years ago, like on Facebook Live and stuff and whatnot. But like, I don't know why they haven't. I missed it last year. I went, Colsey's. He was FCS.
You know what FAMU needs? They need
What
like
do they
a
need?
they need like a streamer personality, like somebody who's on campus being like their like social media rep, but he's like they stream or something. Like they
Hmm.
do live streams for the team during like sporting events. That'd be a good way to bring it back and like get good engagement with the community and stuff.
Yeah.
Who will watch it?
No, that's actually a good idea. We appreciate that, man. We appreciate that. Like we would have been on last night, Kev, but again, we couldn't miss out on the opportunity to go see like a prequel to what might be
Playoffs,
an NHL
like a
playoff
playoff,
game.
yeah, like a playoff type game.
Yeah, like that Lightning Islander game, not Islander, that Lightning Wild game it was really
Wow.
good. Uh, but to little baby's point, he was FCS. Initially, he was at the Naval Academy. So when I see Naval Academy, it kind of tells me, okay, he's used to structure, he's used to discipline, he's used to, following orders and being the head of the table, having to get guys organized and where they're supposed to be. Funny enough, too, Ace, he's from right here, Hillsborough County.
Mm,
He
good
went
for
to he went to Sefner Christian.
wow. Sefner Christian got people coming out. Wow, good for them.
Yeah. And looking at his size too, he kind of fits what Navy was trying to do at the time when he was there. what that triple option type
The
offense.
triple option stuff, yeah, I see it.
So I mean,
Navy was AAC, the American.
yeah, well, no, it is the AAC, but yeah, FBS for sure. See, I think it shouldn't be much of a hard adjustment for him. I think again the fastest team he's going to see this coming season is the University of Miami, who a lot of people have as a national title contender or could win the
Again.
Natty. Yeah. So let's see. They live streamed in the past. Last year didn't get streamed, but they did it the year before last on Rattler Plus. Yes, I remember that. I remember that. Yeah, and they should just do it again. Honestly, like that would be nice. Especially with so many teams and stuff like going like broadcasting their spring games and stuff. Some teams choosing not to for the sake of like transfer portal and stuff like that. But I mean that's a whole nother can of worms. But I think they should, quite honestly. You know, but yeah. Also, too, Ace, the Orange Blossom presser happened today, and
Interesting.
yeah, dude, it was a lot to unpack. I will say. One thing I will say is, man, Chanis Berry could motivate me to do a lot of things. He's the only guy on the team who's engaged. So yes,
Yeah.
yes, he definitely will. And you want that from your quarterback. If anything, I hope he exceeds Moose's type of energy because of what he'll probably demand from everybody around him.
Yeah.
So I need him to
They want
be.
to actually be a leader, but both on and off the field. There is a mosquito flying around my head and driving me crazy. Don't mind me, y'all. I just need him to like come in my sights again.
But yeah, so yeah, the Orange Blossom Classic presser was today, and it was pretty good. One thing I will say is like it felt much more welcoming than previous Orange Blossom Classic pressers. Like, you just kind of knew when they did the one with like Halsey last year, it was like, he was trying to sell us something that wasn't really 100%. And I think we all fell for it. And then, of course, in years past, when with Dion and Willie, like Willie was, a straight shooter. He wasn't going to give you the whole deck of cards. He wasn't going to show you his hand. Dion came in there, of course, talking about how God sent him to coach at an HBCU. Well, hell, if God sent you to coach at an HBCU, why didn't you do it at least 5 years? All right, then. Yeah, they do. And it was like, his voice is powerful. Like it carries. Like he could motivate me. That's a guy I got to give credit where credit's due. Chanis Berry is a guy that I can understand why people want to play for him. And one thing that did stand out that he said was, not everybody can play at South Carolina State. There's a lot of dudes that can play, but not everybody can play at South Carolina State.
System and culture.
Yeah. Ace, you're right on time with
they
it, man.
hit hard and they move like they hit hard and fast.
You hit right on the dot, Ace.
They're not afraid to get up on you.
Actually,
and if you input for that, well,
I wrote this down in my notes because like he said he was like, my job is to recruit, retain, develop, and graduate. He said, who fits our culture? He said he runs a football program, not a football team. And then the question also wrote.
I'll get into that in a minute. Let's keep going. We'll get into the question in a minute.
Okay. But yeah, then the question also arose too about like, supporting our own and everything and like getting attendance up at these classics. And Quinn Gray had this to say at the presser.
And when it comes down to it, people give money to people that they like and things that they like. And it's simple as that. So when it comes down to sponsors and things of that magnitude, we got to be able to solicit sponsors that sponsor these events. And how do we do that? As Coach said, it's about the community getting butts in the seats and supporting each other, right? To be able to be on TV, on ESPN, and to see empty seats in the stands, sponsors ain't going to sponsor that. People ain't gonna throw money at that. So in order to be able to get the bigger sponsors and people to throw more money at your events and make those events reputable events, you got to have people in the stands. And we, as HBCU communities, there's no way, for instance, Celebration Bowl shouldn't have had a jam-packed stadium in Atlanta. I don't care who playing. HBCUs should have been representing each other in the Celebration Bowl. There's so many people in Atlanta that have gone to HBCUs that stadium should have been standing room only, in my opinion. It was Prairie View, it was South Carolina State, it was HBCUs, and HBCUs should have stood up in the paint or should stand up in the paint for each other, especially in those type of venues and those type of opportunities. So with that, we got to be able to support each other because there's a conglomerate of alumni down here that aren't South Carolina State, that aren't FAMU, Tennessee State, Howard, all these other HBCUs. But when we come down, they should come represent HBCUs, not only just because, or not only just FAMU and South Carolina State, but because we're one HBCU community. So that support has to be there for us to be able to continue these classes, to get the sponsorship that we need to continue these classes.
He's spitting facts.
Mm-hmm.
He's spitting facts. It's, and he comes from an era where, HBCU classics, they were averaging, 60, 70,000, like people were, buying
They gotta
tickets.
avoid pricing people out.
And I think in HBCU ball, they don't do that. I think the problem is streaming now is so popular because it's like, look, I can sit here and, like, for example, like, dude, I could sit here and watch the Rays play every single game. I couldn't do that back when Quinn Gray was playing. I couldn't watch FAMU play from the comfort of my home back in the day. Me and funny enough, Mr. Campbell's here watching tonight. What's up, Mr. Campbell? He was telling me, like, back when he was in school, like, you didn't know whether your opposition or the team, like, FAMU folk didn't know if Bethune-Cookman won or lost until Sunday. Yeah, the next day in the paper, or you caught it late at night.
Find out who won what game.
Yeah, exactly. Like, dude, but you gotta think about. We grew up in an era where even if the games weren't beamed in our market, we caught these games on the highlight reel at the end of the day. See, until the newspaper. We're talking like way back in the day, like.
That's how I found out.
I want to date Mr. Campbell, but like back in the 80s.
Hell, nah, bro. Even like in the late 2000s, that was a thing, bro. That's how I used to find out. Like one of the NFL playoffs when the Jets lost to the Colts in the AFC Championship game. I had to go to Becca's at school the next day. Stuff, man. You go wake up in the paper, you're like, wait a minute, the Jets blew this thing to the Colts. Oh,
yeah, yeah.
That's how it was.
But I mean, no, but he's also right too, because I mean, the Celebration Bowl is an event that I think should honestly have like 50,000 at least in the stands, 50, 60,000. Like it should be standing room only. Bayou Classic should be standing room only. Florida Classic should be standing room only. Like it should be like that every single year. Magic City Classic should be like that every single year. He's 100% correct. He said because long distance cost, nobody was calling. Now I do want to get to this one right here because I know we moved past it. What's the narrative if FAMU beats South Carolina State and puts 17 to 21 points?
I was gonna say, but Mr. Campbell said it best. Better coaching will be the narrative. We knew FAMU wasn't a bad team last year. The coaching, they had the same exact flaws a bad coach team had. And they were in close games. They just couldn't do the job properly. Beating South Carolina State by itself shows, all right, we going somewhere this year maybe. And not getting, I would use somewhat respectable offensively against Miami. Will say a lot because that defense is always insane. But I don't know if they do 17 to 21 on Miami, but I'll say like 14 and I'll be impressed.
The only thing I will say is, as far as now, if FAMU goes in there and because I mean, we know FAMU's like an Orange Blossom Classic. If they go in there and just give South Carolina State a scare, because I feel like there's some South Carolina State folks that think this is just going to be, that think the shit's going to be sweet. Let's call it what it is. Some of them think the shit's going to be sweet. If they go in there and they give them a dogfight and just hang around, I'm not ruling out the possibility that they could probably play each other again. Because the team that you're going to see in September will probably likely not be the same team that
Be
you'll
the
see
same
in
one you see
December.
later.
It's going to be a more cohesive unit. It's going to have more tricks up its sleeve, more play calls in its arsenal. Like, things are going to change, and they're going to change for the better. So, I mean, that's where I'm at right now, unless something absolutely like massive shifts. I do think South Carolina State's going to win the game, unfortunately. But, I mean, you never know. Anything could happen.
I'd say like a 1-score game, and I think that's a good way to start the year.
Mm-hmm. And I'm with you on this. This is reasonable. This is very reasonable. 8-4, 9-3. It's at the least is very possible. Now, as far as the Celebration Bowl goes, so they do a poor job marketing to the local consumer for the Celebration Bowl. They need to have high school tickets. Hey, that's actually, yeah. And see, I didn't know this. I did not know this. You would think in a predominantly black city like Atlanta, you would market the you should be marketing the Celebration Bowl just as hard as you market, the Peach Bowl. You have to. It's on a Saturday. Chick-fil-A's open. Everybody loves Chick-fil-A. Get in there, get to the concession stands. Even if you just go for Chick-fil-A. Like, I know I'm thinking about my stomach right now, but like, nevertheless, yeah, like it needs to be marketed like as such, offer it to high school students, offer it to, middle school students and stuff like, something like that. I don't know, get creative with it. The conference does a poor job of marketing. I can make that same argument for SWAC basketball tournament now.
That is true.
The
conference does do terrible job at marketing and just overall media presence.
Mm-hmm.
Go 10-2.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I mean, maybe it's just me nitpicking. I didn't see many SWAC basketball tournament commercials on SWAC TV in the times that I've watched FAMU basketball games, or in the times during the regular season where I watched FAMU baseball games while regular season was going on. So I do agree with that. So, or we go 10-2. Me and Troy have our eyebrows at the end of the season.
You don't have to pluck your eyebrows out. How nice.
Wait, so who would the second loss be to? Well, I guess it could be. I know one's definitely Miami. Now, you know what, Ace? I'm going to be nice here when I say this. If they put up 17 or 21 points on Miami, I would defensively. The only question I have about Miami is who is replacing Ruben Bain and who's replacing Akeem Mesidor.
Fair. I think they'll be fine though.
Oh yeah, they'll be fine. I mean, yeah, Miami's gonna find somebody.
It's Miami. They will pay and recruit what they gotta recruit.
Mm-hmm. They will. And again, that's my only gripe with it. That's why I could see FAMU scoring 17 or 21 in that game, possibly.
I'd say 17 more likely, but if they score 21, we're chilling. Even if it's garbage time.
Yeah, I mean, dude, that's good. I mean, hell, that's the most points FAMU have scored against Miami probably ever. Sounds horrible of me to say, but yeah, probably ever. And you do that in a losing effort, that shows, you put forth effort. You went in there swinging. You may have missed a few times.
They need to start back playing USF again.
Yeah, I know, really, because, it's okay, though. You're going to the Classic. So you're going to see him play this year anyway. Miami, this is true, too. Miami does come back from playing Cal. So, or playing in Cal. I think they play Stanford that, like, Monday night. So they have to turn around and play a game on Thursday. So, hey, it is possible. They were in the red zone. Yeah, that's true, too. So if you can get in the red zone 4 or 5 times with Colsey, you should be able to probably score 2 or 3 times with Quinn.
Even if it takes a trick play.
And that's true. They did do better than Ball State. They did. So I will give them that.
Ball State mentioned in the Big 2026. I haven't heard anything from Ball State since Willie Snead.
Sheesh, man. All right, so we've also got some baseball here for y'all this evening too. So, and the last game actually just wrapped up, probably about I want to say 15 minutes. No, not 15 minutes ago. Like probably 30 minutes ago.
Yeah.
This game wrapped up. So they did lose to Troy. They left. I think they said the tying run was at the plate. So my guess is, they had what 2 men. Wait, okay, geez, I gotta do math real quick.
They had 2 guys on base and
They had
1
2
guy
guys
batting.
on base. Yeah, and it was like the bottom of the ninth. It was like I was listening to it on Troy's radio network. It was a line
Somebody
drive.
was probably on third.
Hmm?
Somebody was probably on third.
Yeah, I think they did say a man on second and third. So yeah, it was a line drive shot into center field. They caught it. Game over. Troy won. They held on. They won 4-7. But they said it was a valiant comeback that FAMU had made. So, again, pitching. I look at this sheet right here, last 4 games, 11, 5, 5, 7, too many runs. I know it's college baseball, but that's too many runs, man. Pitching matters.
I'm trying to think of how do you address that when you're on you have a runner on second and third and you're down 3. Because I feel like a straight shot to center field is not the way to go.
I mean, it's not like you can actually dictate where the ball is gonna go.
No, but sometimes the way how a defense on baseball, they kind of set up their field to give to compensate for certain areas to prevent you. Because if you're a right side hitter, they sometimes adjust the field to that side for you, and they make it so it's harder on you. But if you're going to that, you're trying to hit homer there because sacrificing yourself there ain't doing nothing, especially if you have 2 outs.
Yeah.
But then again, I'm not entirely all the way up on code for baseball. Don't worry, I joined a fantasy baseball league, and I forgot the draft was last night when we were at the game. So I auto drafted, and I'm like, bro, the only people I know on this team are Mookie Betts and Paul Skeens. I'm sorry.
Sheesh.
Me in baseball is I'm not entirely the greatest on it. I know the bare minimum.
You'll be all right. I believe in you. You're going to dominate your fantasy league still. You're going to do it with a box of scraps and Mookie Betts.
Box of scraps and Mookie Betts.
But, taking 2 out of 4 in this set and then winning the series against Arkansas Pine-Bluff, who also was a pretty decent team in the SWAC, still says a lot. So that was still a good job. So, still controlling your destiny there. Softball actually is currently 7-2. They have a big series coming up against Bethune, actually. Or actually, wait, hold. Let's do this first.
Dang.
They took 2 out of 3
from, and then gave him Belton the next 2. I like it though. Even if you lost the first one, you give him Belt the next 2.
I think they're currently 2nd in the SWAC, right behind Bethune. So it adds more fuel to the fire for this one. So come to find out, looking at SWAC TV, the second game is actually a doubleheader on the 28th. So one at 1 p.m. Eastern time, another one at 3 p.m. Eastern time. On SWAC TV, it says 12 p.m. Central time, and then I think it was 4 p.m. or 2 p.m. Central time on the 28th. So there is a doubleheader on the 28th. 5 p.m. first pitch in Daytona on the 27th, and then on the 31st, the women play Troy at 6 p.m. at Troy.
I'm gonna be real. I'm so sick of Bethune. Bethune is so weird, right? They're mostly a basketball and baseball school. It feels like when they try to be a football school, it's they just they have so much money invested in basketball and baseball. I don't like. Sometimes it's just like, hey, y'all take these two here. Come on now. We need FAMU to put some belt on them coming up.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I'm with you. No, FAMU does need to. They need to take this series. Or at least take 2 out of the 3. You have to, and this is essentially like a battle for first place right now. So if you win this, you're sitting pretty. So you gotta win this one.
This is
And
a
then
big one here.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Then on the other side for the men, you got a 3-game series over the course of 3 days against Alabama State. So on the 27th at 5 p.m., the 28th first pitch is at 2 p.m., then the 29th first pitch is at 1 p.m. I'd like to see a series sweep here. That's what I'd like to see.
I would love a series sweep here. That would be so nice.
Mm-hmm.
Pull up the softball one back.
I got you right here.
So it's a double header on the 28th. That's what, Sunday? Or Saturday?
Now on the schedule online,
That's Saturday.
Says, yeah. Now on the schedule online, it's just said it's listed only twice for like the 27th and then the 28th.
But the 3-game series. All right, we got to see at least 2 of the 3 here win.
Mm-hmm.
We definitely needed 2 out of the 3 here.
I would like us to
This
sweep
on
Alabama State. Yeah, that's true. You don't. Again, pitching staff. It's on you. It's on the pitching staff.
Mm-hmm.
It's on this bullpen.
That's fair, yeah.
Because again, you go back to the previous series. You look at this: 4 runs in a loss against Troy, who I'd like to say Troy is a better team than Alabama State. 7 runs, 11 runs. Like, the bats have the potential to come alive. You just got to play defense well and pitch well. Pitching matters. That's what's going to carry you through the SWAC tournament. That's what's going to carry you into the regional tournament. And then if you're fortunate enough to make it out of your region, to the super regionals. So pitching. How do you play the analytics? Whose arm is the best arm? Who's the hot hand? Who do you roll with and put up there on the mound? Who's your ace, basically? Who is this team's ace?
When they
no pun intended.
Cards on the table, you need one, literally.
Hello. That part. But I guess we could say, who's our Rattler of the week? You know what? I went back and forth about this, man.
Softball?
Yeah, I'm going to give it to softball. It was hard to really... I was trying to think about this. I'm like, how do I break this up and pair this up? But I
don't think track had anything going on, so
I don't think so either. And of course, basketball season's over, so
I'm
gonna go softball.
Hey, if I'm FAMU, I'm kind of like, you watch that Iowa game, you're like, damn, I think we could have given a better showing against Florida than Prairie View did.
Look, you could have. As a matter of fact, I'm glad that you said that because I need to look at something real quick. I need to look at how tall Indalama is in comparison to Florida's 7'9" player. So, okay, let's see here. So Indalama's 6'11", and then FAMU's only got 2 6'11" guys. I mean, you know what? But I'll take 6'11" versus 6'8". When it comes to going up against someone that's 7'9". So, I mean, maybe FAMU probably would have posed a better shot or a better game because when you look back at it, FAMU beat Prairie View 100-96.
Yeah, like I honestly think FAMU could have done a better job against Florida.
Yeah, who knows? I would have spent
like 50. 50-50.
Again, he said we need some help from the Lord. That's what he said. That's what he said. I think we did offer 7-foot. Yeah, family's gonna need to go get some 7-footers. They definitely are gonna need to go get some 7-footers. They need to go get, a really nice point guard as well too, and some because consistency shooting 3-pointers is what's going to help them as well. Because I mean, look, towards the end of the season, they were what, Ace? They were shooting 80% from the free throw line consistently. The men and the women actually both were. So I do think, if you can go out and find, maybe 2 7-footers. And then also go out and find you a nasty ball handler, which Tampa Catholic has one right now. Who he's being recruited by, I don't know. But go out and go find you a nasty ball handler. And I do think eventually, here very soon, FAMU will be in that NCAA tournament. I definitely think they could.
I can see it.
It just sucks because I was really hoping it would have been this year because I definitely would have bought a ticket, or I would have purchased 2 tickets, one for an NCAA tournament game and then another one for a Lightning game. So I definitely would have made my way to Amalie in consecutive nights.
Mm-hmm. But it was nice to see the Florida fan tears.
Oh, I bet it was. Even the roided up dude with the toupee that was like that they kept showing on TV.
That man popping like a balloon.
Oh my gosh! Don't get me started. Now, as far as baseball goes, this is very true. Defense gives me a concern as well. But like when the bats come alive, they are alive.
That is true.
That's what you want.
It's true.
Especially the fact too that I would expect the offense to absolutely come alive in college baseball, which they've been doing because of not only the fact that, of course, aluminum bats are better than wooden bats. There's more pop coming off the bat as well.
More density in the bat.
Mm-hmm. But also too, just smart base running, utilizing the speed. You're recruiting Florida very well, stealing bases,
They need, if you're FAMU, man, you gotta start recruiting the Latin countries.
We said this last week, or
we said we'll say it every week.
Yeah,
you need to hit them islands.
Yeah.
Hell, I mean, I know Venezuela's not the safest place right now, but I'd be still sending a guy out there. Like Venezuela just won the World Baseball Classic. Like Venezuela got some
the United States
coming up over there.
They beat the United States. Get somebody.
Just go. You can send 2 guys, 2 arm muscle, one scout. You go down there and you find some hitters.
Find some hitters. Find some pitchers.
Find some pitching. Yeah, we need to find a Venezuelan who can throw 100-mile-an-hour fastball.
Hello, someone that's got an ace. Go and find an ace.
Not in Tampa, obviously. We've got to go down Venezuela and find one.
Go to Venezuela. Yeah, no, go to Venezuela.
And don't
Cuba.
go Trinidad. If I'm in there too, don't go Trinidad looking for it. You got to go Venezuela. It's right next door.
Wait, why not Trinidad?
Because I might be there. So you're not looking for me. You're looking for over there.
Well, I mean, I'm sure there's someone that's like you that could play baseball from Trinidad.
They play cricket.
Really?
Yeah, Trinidad plays cricket. They don't play baseball like that.
Interesting.
So here's the thing, right? So the Hispanic side of the islands, there's you have the Carib side, and then you got the Hispanic side, right?
Okay.
The Carib side will play like the Jamaicans, the Trinidadians, the Bahamians, the Grenadines. They play more cricket, while the Dominicas, the Dominican Republic, the Puerto Ricans, the Cubans, the Venezuelans, they play baseball. I don't know. It's like that's just how the Caribbean works. Otherwise, they're pretty much the same, and all the Caribbean countries are kind of the same until it comes to baseball and cricket. They just completely split. Because I'm sure if you can go to Jamaica and convince a dude to switch from cricket to baseball, Jamaica will be popping out them baseball guys all the time. Well, see, now they're fast, but I think they can hit a ball pretty hard, I feel like. But that's why Jamaica's cricket team is actually pretty good, and that's why when they go play on the world stage, it's the West Indies. It's like the West Indies cricket team that goes and play. But boy, when I tell you cricket is big down there, like that is like they filling up like 30, like the population there is like 1 million people. They filling up 30,000 stadiums. My boy,
I didn't know this.
yeah. But I feel like if you go to like a Jamaica or Trinidad, you could convince them to switch to baseball. You might get somebody. You can find a sleeper, but that recruiting process would be very expensive. So it wouldn't be like a FAMU doing it. It had to be like a bigger school trying to do it. But infrastructurally, it's more designed for the Hispanic countries to do baseball, while the West Indian countries to do. Basically, if you were like a Spanish colony, I think that's the best way to say it. A Spanish colony was doing baseball while the British colonies were doing cricket.
Spot
I
on.
think that's the easiest way to describe it.
Yeah,
a little history lesson there.
Nice. Yeah, no, history and educational lesson from Ace. How about it?
And Ace pulled out one straight out of his thing. He was just yapping and was like, "Oh, wait a minute! I just noticed something."
Yeah, like you learn. Look, you're gonna learn something every time you come on here. Whether it's
even we might learn something we didn't even realize 20 seconds ago.
Exactly. Like, look, we've done on this platform. We've basically broken down the history of Army Navy. We just basically broke down the difference between the Hispanic colonies and the British colonies down in the Caribbean. The more you know.
And we've already designed the Ray Stadium. We've planned the entire mural painting on the escalator rides up Amelie.
That's true. We did. We sure did.
Bro, we is a culture treasure trove, bro. We could set the culture of Tampa so hard if they let us. You know,
so that's missed opportunities. Right, so many opportunities to be had between us.
Yes, on that Ray's project, right, you won't regret it. I'm just yapping, but like kind of serious.
No, that's real though.
But like like in the escalators of Amway Arena, bro. If you paint that the lightning history going up, bro, that's like you can make that iconic. Instead of seeing a blank white wall.
That wall been blank since the Tampa Bay Storm were in there. I digress. But yeah, folks, that's gonna do it for us tonight. Thank you so much for joining us. We just wanted to, get in here, get it done, and then, get out and everything. I know Ace has things to go prepare for. Yeah, I got to go prepare for 5 a.m. gym session, of course. But, tonight was awesome. Covered a lot of topics and everything. Again, I'm looking forward to getting to the spring game and seeing and meeting as much people as possible and stuff. And also looking forward to, because I know somebody's going to say it, where's Ace at? Looking forward to getting this guy here on my right, on the camera's right, to a Florida Classic and introducing him to some shots of the good stuff off the top shelf and seeing some culture, some good culture. I don't want to take him to homecoming yet. Not yet, because he may not want to come back home. But eventually. But all right, folks, y'all take care. Y'all stay safe, stay blessed. We will see you next Tuesday leading up to the spring game. Peace.